Hey guys, so you know those days you wake up and you're just like, I am not in the mood to get ready, but I want to look somewhat presentable when I go outside. I'm having one of those days today, and it's going to be really hot and humid in Pittsburgh, and I didn't feel like doing anything with my hair. I just feel like jeans, tank top, and baseball cap day. And because of that, I wanted to keep the makeup very like neutral, girl next door, even though we're gonna use a lot of products to get a girl next door natural look. So because I think it is pretty dang boring to watch somebody apply their foundation all the time, I went ahead and just did that off camera. But basically you wanna grab any luminous foundation. I'm back on my Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk Kick. I need to stop using this so much because I'm gonna run out and I don't wanna spend $64 a day again to buy more. But take a pump of your luminous foundation and then a pump of any skin illuminator. This is the Becca Shimmering Skin Perfector. It's just a nice highlight. So one pump of foundation, one pump of highlight, mix it together and apply however you like it. I tend to like to use the sponge, but some people like a brush. And then, admittedly, so part of wanting to do this video is just to get back to a little bit of love because poor Anastasia of Beverly Hills, now this is her Modern Renaissance palette, which we all adored, we all fawned over, and then, of course, the scandal, if you will, that is happening right now with her Subculture palette. It's unlike anything I've ever seen before. People are melting down over this palette. It's makeup. It's crazy. It's makeup. I mean, at the end of the day, come on. If that's all we have to worry about, we're sitting pretty well. But in any event, so this is just a beautiful, whoo, I lost my brush. This is a beautiful warm tone palette. I mean, look at the shade range, and it really is good. She makes good palettes. I think the other one was just a dud. Hopefully she can recover quickly from that once we're all done blasting her. But for this look, I'm going to just go in with this really pretty warm brown. This is Raw Sienna. And one of the things I love most about these shadows is just how well they blend. I went ahead and did one eye, but basically what you want to do is just, I have so many palettes in my lap, I'm getting confused. So we're going into that Raw Sienna color. And you want to concentrate most of the color here on the outer edge because obviously that's where we want the emphasis to be, and then gradually work it in towards the inner corner so that way it's just a nice shadow effect. It's a nice fade. It's not tons of color from, you know, over here to in here, which can be very overwhelming and a little too heavy. So again, I'm just going to start depositing that color and the edge here, and you can see like I'm really not even moving inward yet because I want to make sure the bulk of that color is already deposited, and then whatever's left, that's when I start moving in towards my inner corner. Now one trick too is when you're applying makeup, one of the mistakes we tend to do is we look up and apply like this, and if you have hooded eyes like me, what happens is you're applying like this and then you put your head down and then you lose all your color because it's obviously too low on your lid. So a good trick is to just keep your head straight, look straight on into the mirror. That way you can see exactly where you're depositing the color and whether or not you want to move it a little bit upwards or a little bit more inwards, and you can use that as a visual guide. So you can see the bulk of the color is on the end here, and it just gives a really nice gradual fade. A nice little shadow effect into the inner corner. I can barely talk today. I'm so out of it today. Have you ever had one of those days? I'm completely out of it, so bear with me. Now for the center of my lids, I want it to be a little bit more glowy, so I'm gonna go in with a shimmer shadow. Now I love her Primavera, obviously. This is a really, really pretty gold shade. You can see there, it's just got a nice little reflex and kickback to it. But I want to jack it up just a little bit, so I'm going to take a flat shadow brush, and a good way to do that is to just dip into your color, so get it on the brush, and then take your setting spray and give it a nice spritz, and that just really amps up the shine, and it has a really pretty effect on the lid. So I'm just really concentrating it on the center to give the lid a really nice, natural, diffused highlight. I did go ahead and finish my eyeliner and my mascara off camera, and it reminded me of one of the other reasons why I really like the formulation on this palette. I can always gauge how good a palette's quality is by the way my liquid eyeliner reacts to the eyeshadow, especially when it comes to shimmer shades. And here's what I mean. When you have a shimmer shade on your lid and you go to apply liquid liner, if it starts to skip, if it starts to clog the brush or felt tip of your liner, that to me is not a good formulation, regardless of how pretty it looks, because at the end of the day, I don't want to have a really pretty color on my lid, but then I've ruined my liquid liner because the brush tip or felt tip is now completely clogged with product, and it's going to dry out my liquid liner much quicker. And that's one thing I've never had an issue with this palette, and it's one of the reasons why I love it so much, because as you can see, when I applied my liquid liner, I mean, there's no skipping, you know, when it came to coming across the shimmer shades. It just goes on really nicely. So the next thing I'm gonna do is just add a little bit of bronzer. This is the Park Avenue Princess by Tarte. It's one of my favorites, and I like to just press it into the skin just to give myself a nice bronzy glow. And you know me, even though we're going for that natural look, I'm still gonna add a second layer of bronzer. This is the Chocolate Soleil by Too Faced. This is one of my favorites. And to me, it just helps to deepen up what you've already done, just to add a little bit more definition. The other important step is to go back into your highlighter and take a little bit on to your finger, and you just want to dot it onto the high points of the cheeks, and then take, well, I like to take my sponge and just tap it in. So it just gives you that really nice, fresh, youthful glow. I was trying to find the right word there. And then when you apply it, take it up around the temple just a little bit, because what you do is you just create a nice natural fluid line. So when you turn your head and the sun hits, or the light hits rather, it just gives a nice natural definition. I'm gonna finish up with just a very natural looking blush. This is from Nars, this is Madly, and I'm mad at Nars because they started testing on animals again. Well, I shouldn't say that. They're not testing on animals, but they are selling in China, and China regulation requires companies to test on animals. So I'm not gonna be buying any more Nars again, but I'm trying to find a replacement for this color because it just gives the prettiest natural flush to the cheeks, and it's in that kind of tawny brown with a little bit of beigey pink color family. That's a big color family I just mentioned. And when it comes to lips, obviously you want to use something very natural, and because I'm so low maintenance, I'm only going to be using 3 products to get the look that I want. I'm going to start with Yves Saint Laurent's Glossy Stain in number 12, and I like to lay these down first on the lips just to give it a little bit of a stain. And this is a beautiful coral shade. After it's dried down, then I like to go in with my liner. This is the shade Bear to Comment from Wet n Wild. These gel liners are so good. I actually want to do a video on these. But here's another trick. If you want to give your lips a fuller look, instead of just doing one pass through with your liner, really concentrate and build the product up, just starting off on the lower portion of the lip. And then the final steps for lips is applying my lip color. This is Smashbox Be Legendary in the shade Callback, and this is one of their cream shades. Okay, so this is the final look. Like I said, I just didn't feel like doing anything with my hair. I threw on a hat and I'm calling it a day. And if you guys knew how long it took to film this stupid video, you would just laugh. It has been, it's been a rough morning. I'm so tired. I don't know why, but I'm just kind of, yeah, I'm totally out of it. So thanks for bearing with me. Hope you enjoyed this, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.